Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from New York City. I'm Axel Toss, joined by AxLab. It's getting a little bit darker outside, but as it gets darker, it gets more amazing, maybe. New York City.
Definitely.
A lot of people would say that.
The city that never sleeps, man.
Never
the
sleeps.
The city that never sleeps.
They don't joke around. If you move to New York City, you actually don't require sleep to live. You don't need it. So what are we watching? We're watching the U.S. Champions Cup. Of course, we here at MLG, we're all about
Or about building hatcheries.
I'm about this. Absolutely.
This is CatZ, man.
I had a few conversations with IEM, and we talked about MLG potentially hosting a stream to help out with coverage, and they said great. So that's why we're here, and couldn't be more excited to present y'all coverage from IEM throughout the entire weekend. Look out for more of that type of stuff in the future, and if you have a tournament that you feel like is pretty amazing, and you want to potentially have MLG provide coverage for it, we'll see. You know, send me an email, alex@mlg.tv, and we can see if we can make it happen. But it's a lot of fun casting IEM on a weekend. Really excited about it. And right now you're watching Caliber versus CatZ. This is winners bracket round 3. They're currently tied 1-1. The winner of this will advance on to play QXC. And there's a little bit of a deliberation because the issue with the next game is either A, we go for Pult versus Puck, or QXC versus the winner of this.
Well, we could get in the middle of Pult Puck series.
Is that what? So did they start? Did they start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Far Side said they were starting game 1.
Got it. So we could do that. So maybe we can have a poll or something, a straw poll, and let maybe the people can decide which one we should get into.
Well, the QXC one can't happen until after that's done, right?
Correct.
So
we'll have the option potentially of getting into game 2 of Pult Puck, or getting into game 1 of the winner of this versus QXC.
Oh, the winner of this plays QXC.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I got it.
So
sorry, I was.
Yeah, we could potentially do that. Honestly, like, you can't lose with either of those, so it's like a terrible first world problem to have to pick, but we do have to pick, unfortunately. Of course, Nick could potentially jump into another one. Well, Nick has his matches to play, but
we can't take this screen, so
Correct.
I can't jump into another one.
Yeah. Well, you could get into it and just update it for early kind of a thing. But,
yeah.
I mean, anyway. So Caliber versus CatZ, this is pretty important. These guys are tied 1-1. The winner of this will advance on a winner's bracket round 4. The loser will drop down to the shadow bracket. For now, Caliber coming forward with a lot of Stalkers, 2 Zelds, and a Mothership Core. He has no expansion, and his opponent knows this. This is a 4-gate on 1 base. So this is very committed. CatZ knows about it, adding on a bunch of Spine Crawlers, has Queen Cedar transfuse Spine Crawlers as well. Slowlings coming out, pumping down a lot of Zerglings to try to help out. Mothership Core taken out, and I feel like, well, this seems pretty close, but more and more Zealots are coming on in here. Caliber trying to crush through CatZ. There are 3 Spine Crawlers alive, and Caliber just going to march up into the main base, trying to dodge those Spine Crawlers. And, of course, only Slowlings are on the map, so that's mildly manageable here for Caliber. But I think CatZ might be in a position where he can just overwhelm his opponent with units. And it's a 4-gate,
I think you can,
so
yeah, and there's no reinforced point right there, which is that's a problem of running past the natural, right?
Right.
Is you can't reinforce, and at a certain point, even drones can kind of swarm you over. So it's not looking so good for Caliber. He's been doing a lot of gateway aggression. Is he afraid of CatZ's late game?
See, I'm not even sure. This might have been a reaction to the hatchery shenaniganry that happened earlier. He might have.
Why is he long? Does he have like 20 on his main?
15.
50. Why is he long distance mining with only 15 probes? He's losing a lot of money.
Why don't you explain why that's bad?
Well, so you don't actually. Obviously, at a certain point, there comes a time when an extra probe on your base doesn't actually get you any more minerals. So you're like, well, why not have a long distance mine? I've got it anyway, right? Hold on a second. Is this monitor screwed up?
Uh-oh. Are you okay there, Nick?
No, I'm not. It's going to be bad. That's all right.
You can handle that guy.
I can handle it. So
Nick is about to play his lower bracket match.
Yeah, and the monitor.
We'll keep you updated on that as that goes along.
Anyway, what was I saying?
You're explaining why it's bad to long distance mine with those probes when there's 15 on.
Yeah, so a probe up the first 16 all mine something like 40 to 45 minerals a minute. 17 through 20 mine about 30 minerals a minute, and then 21 through 24 mine at about 20 a minute. So you get the miniature returns, but even like 20 minerals a minute is a lot more than you get from long distance mining. So ideally, you don't really. It's kind of lazy because you don't want to have to like mess with probes later, because you can just set them. If you're building a nexus, right, you just can forget about it.
Yeah.
So I do it sometimes too, but it's definitely, I mean, not when you have 15. That's a pretty significant oversight. He probably lost a good 200 minerals from that move. Of course, 200 minerals, at the end of the day, it's like 2 zealots, right? I mean,
Right. It's not going to have a lasting impact
No.
on this game, but it's important to note if you're watching this and trying to come up with your own strategies to play StarCraft 2, it's one of those things where you want to keep those probes on those minerals, you know, until it's necessary to start
Yep.
doing that long distance mine. And the thing is, when you're doing that one place play, sometimes you're going to cut those probes, really try to make it over, you know, truly commit everything into it. But we're seeing Caliber actually backing up, taking an expansion, so having a transition plan. Still no gas at his natural expansion, and he's actually adding on 2 gateways. He did get a robotics facility, so he's getting a war prism now. He's going to have 7 gates on the field and a war prism. So the idea here is going to be surprise. He does not want CatZ to know about this war prism. He wants to sneak in there, drop the sentries potentially in his opponent's main base, force field the ramp, and then make some more units to supplement this attack. Now, the problem here might be there are 5 Hydras on the way from CatZ, which is kind of what you want against gateway pressure, but as long as those units can't close the distance, 4 sentries going to drop here in the main base here. For Caliber, the War Prism getting very low, and they're going to try to pick up more sentry, but no, the War Prism gets taken out, and this is not going to work. Hallucinating a couple Colossus, and this is a disaster for Caliber, and CatZ is going to take it. Caliber throwing down the GG, and CatZ taking the 2-1, and that makes me wonder. What actually happened in game number 1.
Yeah.
Of course, how's your game going there, Nick?
I mean, it's early on versus Terran,
Early
so
on.
can't really tell too much of what's going on here.
Sick. So next up, we're going to try to get into either Pult versus Puck.
Yep.
Or QXC versus CatZ. So guys, stay tuned. You're watching our coverage of the U.S. Champions Cup. I'm Axel Toss, joined by Axlab, bringing you coverage of the best players living in the United States of America, and of course coverage of Nick as he tries to make his way through the tournament as well. We'll be right back after a quick break. Don't go anywhere.